I'm Vivian Tedford. I'm a system analyst and a programmer, and I work for Orbitz worldwide. Our strategic objectives today, I think, are really to expand what we already have. We have a really strong base of operation. We've got, Orbitz is a very popular website. Cheap Tickets is another site that we have that's growing very fast. But now we're really expanding into Europe with a set of sites called eBookers that already exists, and we own them, but we're taking them to a new platform that really is a worldwide platform. And a lot of our growth that we see in the future is going to be involved with that. Customer experiences are the only thing we have. We don't have a face-to-face relationship with our customers in most cases. In some cases with our suppliers we do, but not with our customers who book actual travel. So we really, our website is our face-to-face. So without something that functions well, that gives people what they really need, and that helps them along the booking process or makes sure that their experience is a smooth one, we really have nothing. If that's your only contact with your customers, then that's what they see from you, and that's the way they're going to remember you. If they get good customer service or they get what they need from your frequently asked questions area or whatever area you provide for them in a customer service aspect, then they're going to come back to you, and that's what you really want. So you don't have a lot of other ways of keeping them coming back except to make sure that their experience there the first time they're there and every subsequent time is really good, and that they think of it as different from other places that might be doing a similar thing. One of the main challenges is keeping things up to date to the minute. The websites change fairly frequently because they're trying to keep everything accurate. But when they do, then the frequently asked questions and the people who are responsible for that content change too. And having that to be able to change at the exact same time is really important to us. If there's a weather event in travel, that means everything to us. We've actually customized our top 10 frequently asked questions on the Right Now page so that we can force what appears there, so it's not just what's accessed the most, so that if there's a hurricane in the Caribbean, we can actually put the #1 frequently asked question, what do I do if I'm booked on a trip to the Caribbean? We can make that be the frequently asked question that people see very first, so that they get to the answer that they need right away. So anything like that, it can be a security problem somewhere, or it could be any kind of strike with an airline. We want to be able to give people information immediately. We're on the main website. They have to wait for releases. With the Right Now tool, we're able to put things through immediately and actually have it live within 10 or 15 minutes of when we find out about it, so it's great. I would say two main ones would be the fact that we can actually customize the website to our needs. We really have had to have that, and there are very few systems that would really allow us to customize it to the extent that we need to. We've been able to implement some customizations in Right Now that really we would never have foreseen necessarily coming up, but the business came to us, for instance, and said, what if we wanted to put what the actual wait time was at the call center on the website in a timely manner, so that when someone looks at the website, they realize there's a 20-minute hold time. It might encourage them more to look at the frequently asked questions. And we were able to implement an XML transfer of that type of information right onto the customer service page and give people that information right away. The other area I would say would be that immediacy of being able to update the frequently asked questions, because that really is critical for our business. If we don't have that up-to-the-minute information for our travelers, we're really, falling behind all of our competitors. So we really need to have that information right away, and the sooner we can get it up, the better. And Right Now poses no obstacles to that at all. We really get it right on the site the minute we need to, so it's great. Orbitz and Right Now came together at a really important time. Orbitz had just gone live just before 9/11, and when 9/11 hit, obviously the travel business was one of the main things that was hit. We needed to get information to people, and fast. They needed it right then. And I think they'd been talking to Right Now before, but they basically said if we could get a help site up within the week that could help us get the information out to customers, we're ready to do it now. And so they did, and Right Now, actually, there were people there in Chicago from Right Now that couldn't get out because the plane stopped flying, and actually helped to implement a website right then. And by the end of that week, we had a frequently asked questions site up, and we were running with it. So it was really a great benefit for a company that was really just starting out at a very bad time in the travel business. So that was the immediacy again was a great advantage for us. we've had great technical support, and from my perspective, that's been the most important thing, because when we've had questions from the business units and they've actually said, you know, we want to implement this wait time thing on the site, how can we do it? When I go to my technical resource at Right Now, then I immediately get response from him, and it's great to be able to work with him, where even if it's something that he's never tried to do before, it's something where he'll always try to make it happen for us, and we've really had great results with that. It's great even if the answer is ultimately no, because we know he's checked every possible way that we could do something that we've tried to do, and if the answer is no, then we know it's a thoroughly researched answer. But he's been so helpful, especially in our ability to respond to the business needs that really change almost on a daily basis. So, you know, they just come up with new things that they want to do, and when we go to him and ask him things like that, I think that's been a tremendous asset to us. So our partnership in that way has been great. The main thing that we're going to be getting into is the actual foreign language area. We haven't really done a lot with that yet, except for doing English UK, which is a little bit different, but not a lot different. We'll be implementing, starting next year probably, the eBooker sites that are all in foreign languages. For us, having a solid knowledge foundation really allows us to have the call centers that we do have, because if we only had some pieces of paper or something on a website somewhere where it was hard to access, for people all over the world in our call centers to access that information, I think we would not be providing a consistent level of customer service. It's allowed us to be able to have sites in India or in Indonesia or in Fargo, North Dakota, where we know that all of that information is being disseminated exactly the same way. The other thing we run into with call centers, and I think this is not uncommon, is usually there's a lot of turnover. So when you have a consistent knowledge base, you really can train somebody up pretty quickly to get on the phones, because if they don't know the answer, they can access it really quickly by searching through the knowledge base. And so I think without it, we would not have nearly the scope of what we have with our call centers, because we would have to be so much more tightly controlling who is in there and what they know and how they find what they find. So that's really given us an advantage in that way. One of them was the ability to present a call hold time on the system, so that people who were looking at the frequently asked questions page might realize that if they called, it would take them a lot longer to find the answer than if they just searched a little bit in the frequently asked questions. They might be able to self-serve. The other thing that we did was some of our business sites, which are handling maybe multiple businesses within a same application. Some of those businesses had set up certain call numbers that were specific to their business. In the past, we had always presented everybody with a generic phone number that they could get to, and then through call routing, they could get to where they needed to be. We needed them to get directly where they needed to be. So we were able to have the customers fill in a profile on the Orbit side that actually contained the information of their customized phone numbers. If that exists and the user is signed in under that customer, then we know when that page displays, we grab that number from the profile. Again, technical services was able to help us to understand how to go and get that information that Right Now would understand it, and we were able to implement that in a relatively short period of time. And in fact, once we got that working, we're now going to implement it on another site, and it really has only taken, in programming time, maybe 10 minutes to move that to another site. So once we got it working once, it's great to know that we can use it on other sites in the future very quickly. For the customers that were able to customize the phone numbers, that was a really big thing for one customer of ours in particular, and they'd been wanting it for a long time. Up until a certain point, I don't think anybody had really pursued whether or not we could do it. And I had started working on the system not very long before it had come to me, and I said, well, I might as well ask at least and see if we can make something like this happen. And it really was solving an issue for a customer, a big customer of ours, that made them thrilled that we could provide that for them, because from the day one they had been asking for that. And then other customers are benefiting just because that one customer really drove that for us, that we really wanted to provide that. I think Orbitz would not be nearly the customer service, known for its customer service as well as it is, if it weren't for Right Now Technologies, because I think we've really been able to give people instant access to answers to their questions, and our frequently asked questions are so thorough and so updated that really I think people can get to their answers extremely quickly and get off the site, which is what usually people want to do, is just book and get off the site. But if they're having an issue, they can find an answer to that question really quickly. I think we wouldn't have been able to grow a lot of our new sites that we've been putting up as fast as we have, and in the future that speed is going to be even more important to us as we try to do more and more sites.